Hi, everybody. Welcome, all you musicians and fans and friends out there in YouTube land. I thought I would share with you the elements that I used in a bass solo that I did at a show in Massachusetts at the Shea Theater. I was playing with Tony Vaca and the Fusion Nomads, and I really like the solo, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. So it's on my channel. So maybe after this, if you see this, you can subscribe to my channel and check out the bass solo. The channel, you can subscribe to my channel by typing in at JOSALLINS1, at Joe Salins 1, okay? And look up bass solo part 4. You want to look up part 4 and it'll say Dance Beneath the Diamond Sky. All right, so for this bass solo, let me talk a little bit about how I put this together. I love all types of bass players. I love all types of music, and I have my own way of approaching a solo. So some of my favorite players, I have a ton of them, but I'll say the people that influenced me most would be, first, when it comes to entertaining a crowd, it would be James Brown, who I met when I was 9 years old. So there's James Brown for the entertainment factor. And then for bass, it would be a guy named Jeffrey Smith, who grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. Rest in peace. He's not with us any longer. Incredible player. I learned so much from him. And then third would be Stanley Clarke. That's my man. I also met him and went to his house. It was a really cool story, which if you check out my channel, I will be posting all about that story of meeting Stanley Clarke. Actually, we met on 2 occasions. So without further ado, let me jump into the elements for putting together a solo. You already know who influenced me. So let's start out with, when I start the solo, there's nine elements. I'm going to start with number 1, and I want to start with something big. And I call this like a drone, like I guess like a Middle Eastern sound. So Tony, who plays a balafon, he has all kinds of bells and percussions and gongs and things. He does this like Middle Eastern rhythm. And so I start playing this thing that goes like this. All right, so that's number 1. So I played around with that. And then, we talk and have a conversation, play along together. Then 2, I jumped into what I would call some melodic licks, and I'll just take one out of context. It goes like this. And I always love using this little vibrato thing because it has vocal quality. Singers do that with their voice. So I like doing that with the bass. Things like that. So I use that. So I played some lines, played a little bit of that. Then number 3, I started using some double stops, which is just basically 2 notes played at the same time. So I used different types of, I used minor, major. So I did some rhythm things with that, played with that. Then I went into number 4, staccato rhythms and notes. So I just took melodic concepts but made them staccato. So if I were gonna go, I went, I'll show my right hand. Stuff like that. Then I used the Miles Davis concept of create space. Don't just fill up all the space all the time with a bunch of notes. So I used some drama. I plucked a G like this and did a little bend and then continued my solo. That was fun. Audience really liked that. Actually, Chris Devine, who's the violinist, you'll see him if you look at the clip. That really had an effect on him. So that's one of the things I was talking about. I like to influence the audience as well as the players, because I feed off of them, they're feeding off of me. So it's a language. We're all talking with each other. Conversation. So there's the space. So number 6, then I started using some plucking. I felt that the rhythm started to intensify. You'll see Tony started to get into like some funkier rhythms on his drums. So I did. Okay, so let me show my right hand. So I pluck, and then I grab my D and G, do that, and then. So check that out. And then number 7. Okay, now here's where the entertainment part gets into. Tony started double timing the tempo. And when I heard that, I decided to go along with that. So this conversation then went in this direction. So I started playing my bass like a drum. When I was 9 years old, I started playing drums. So drums was my first instrument. So getting into that part of it, that was a piece of cake for me. So then number 8, I then did this press. I press my string, my G string, and it produces a false harmonic. So I'll show you what that looks like. So let's say I'm going. Okay, so I just do something like that. That's kind of showy, but it's actually fun and it's musical. I'm being like maybe a synth or any instrument that can hold a note. So I'm just holding that note and it sustains and it allows me to jump in on the downbeat with my next idea. And then I do a big ending. I always like to do a big ending to set up what's going to happen next, which is the saxophone solo. So I just grab my G string, do something like that. And then I pluck open my open D and G and just let them ring, and that creates drama. And then that sets up the downbeat for the sax to come in, and we have this big presentation where the drums come back in, the bass comes in, the sax is going crazy, and it creates drama, and then our audience can go, oh, wow, so like that. So that's how I constructed the solo. So I hope this was interesting to you, and I hope that you get over to my channel. Remember, at JOSALLINS1, Joe Salins 1. Check out part 4, Dance Beneath the Diamond Sky, a bass solo. All right, and don't forget, I got a book coming out. Peace.